is it like living in England, especially as a Californian? Welcome back to Shelby on Safari, the place where I, a wild animal biologist, lover of pop culture, history, and just getting out and exploring, explores all these things and more on this channel. This week, we're exploring the coastal surf town of Newquay. I'm so excited to bring you guys with me as we explore, yes, of course, the beaches, the aquarium, but also visit Newquay Zoo. And I'm going to introduce you to one of the rarest birds in the world, and you can actually see it at Newquay Zoo. I'm so excited. So you ready? Join the safari and let's get started. Course of my week in the south of England, my home base was in Paignton. Last week, I brought you guys with me to Sheldon to visit Sheldon Wildlife Trust, and as we explored Maidencoombe Beach using the Southwest Coast Path. However, as a surfer and pretty much a beach bum, I was so excited to be in a position to visit Newquay. So long have I heard about this coastal beach town and its ways, but now was the time to go and visit. However, I wasn't going to drive to Newquay because I didn't bring my car. I took the train down to Paignton to begin with, which left me with the sole option of also taking the train to Newquay, which wasn't as ideal as say driving because it did take quite a bit of time, about 3 hours one way to get there, but it certainly led for some fantastic views. I'm really glad I didn't drive because I would have been distracted and would have missed seeing all this amazing countryside. Because Newquay is actually in Cornwall. It was my first time in this part of the world, and boy was I not let down. Immediately after getting off the train in Newquay, it was, well, very reminiscent of my hometown of Seal Beach, Huntington Beach, Sunset Beach. It was a weird conglomerate mixture of kind of the surfy vibe mixed with tourist. And yeah, it just felt great to be back in a place like that. And while it was a little bit busy, after all, it was a Saturday, I didn't feel too crammed because there was a lot to see in a lot of different parts of Newquay. One of the first things I wanted to do after getting off the train was find a coffee shop because I had been up ridiculously early and was really looking forward to a good cup of coffee. And as I said, I love history, and I found a coffee shop inside this cool old church building. Pretty snazzy. And also was a wicked good cup of coffee. After getting my cup of joe, I finally had the energy to continue my walk throughout the streets of Newquay and just kind of wandered about and enjoyed popping into random shops and seeing the amazing views along the way to the aquarium. I wanted to visit Blue Reef Aquarium. Earlier this year, I got to visit the Blue Reef Aquarium in Portsmouth, so I was excited to see the similarities and differences of the one in Newquay. Take a look at some of the incredible animals I got to see there. lovely collection and inspired me to want to get out in the sea. But unfortunately, I had plenty of other plans that day, so I didn't quite get to hop in the ocean. Instead, it was time to head to Fistral. Fistral's known for its surfing, and I was excited to see what the waves had in store for me that day. Because actually, if the waves were good, I probably would have been convinced to rent a surfboard and get out there. But being along the coast, sometimes the weather does rather quickly change, and it got a bit cloudy, a few rain showers, but the winds were onshore and the waves certainly weren't in my favor. However, it was great to just be there and see it for myself in person. By this point, I was hungry, and well, I was spoiled for choice, really, with all the different places to eat. But, as one of my good friends says, you gotta follow your nose. And so I did, and I followed my nose to Feastie Boys. Located behind a surf shop, Feastie Boys had plenty of delicious smelling and sounding wraps available. However, I went for the beef brisket because, well, it just sounded delicious. And with a bit of sriracha sauce, oh, it was fabulous. Absolutely delicious. Thanks so much, Feastie Boys, for that delicious wrap. It certainly filled me up and got me ready to go explore Newquay Zoo. Now, Newquay Zoo is a part of the Wild Planet Trust, an organization that's not just Newquay Zoo or its sister zoo Paignton, but also includes some wildlife reserves and conservation projects out in the field, like in Sulawesi. Newquay Zoo was really close to the city center. It was only about a 10-15 minute walk away, but once you were inside, you definitely didn't feel like you were in the hub of a town. Because of the horticulture and the clever use of enclosures throughout the space they had, you definitely felt immersed. It was a bit weird actually being by the coast and seeing wildebeest and going, oh yeah, I am at a zoo. It was just a bit surreal, really. Like we saw on my visit over to Ireland and seeing the zoos over there, Newquay Zoo also utilized the concept of islands to display some of their lemur species, like the black and white rough lemurs, which, if you look really closely, you'll be able to see the little babies. Oh, they were so cute. Oh, it was so fun to watch them. They also had a pretty snazzy tropical house. You had to go up a flight of steps to get up to see the sloths. Yay! Got to see some sloths, it was so cool. Walking around Newquay Zoo, I did get distracted quite often by some other babies other than the black and white rough lemurs. I got distracted by the Visayan warty piglets because they were quite frankly adorable beyond all reason. I also got distracted by the Philippine spotted deer because, well, they're just fun to watch, and probably had one of the best enclosures to have at the zoo because you got a view of the lake, you got a view of the red pandas, you had a pretty snazzy view all around. Speaking of red pandas, take a look at this footage. Aren't they just the cutest? I just love their little floofy faces. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out my video on did they get red pandas right in Disney's Turning Red, which I'll put a link to up at the top of the screen now. Newquay Zoo had some other incredible animals. Check this out. However, my favorite animal to see at Newquay Zoo wasn't the adorable red pandas or the meerkats but it was actually one of the rarest bird species in the world. There are less than 50 of these beautiful Javan green magpies left in the wild. And Newquay Zoo offered me a rare chance to get up close with them, listen to their songs, and just sit and enjoy an incredible walkthrough experience. And I guess that's one of the things that I challenge you to do next time you're at a zoo that has a walkthrough exhibit. If you can, and if it's safe to do so, find a seat and just sit and enjoy being surrounded by nature. That is one of the things I really loved about Newquay Zoo, is that they had plenty of opportunities to just sit and be surrounded by some incredible animals or some beautiful plants. I wonder what you will discover if you stop and take a moment to enjoy, well, the moment when you're in one of those walkthrough exhibits. If you missed my previous video on exploring Sheldon and the Southwest Coast Path, check out that video here. Before you go though, be sure to leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, well, exploring. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in that video.